Hello, my friends. This is Jay Hendricks with Powerful Thought Daily. Today, I wanted to talk about what does it mean in the Bible when it says the trump shall sound or a trump shall sound. I wanted to liken this to what's going on nowadays. It's interesting because Donald Trump is a polarizing figure. Love him or hate him, he's just the fact that he's in power, and then not just him, but other people like him, like Boris Johnson in the UK and many other populist movements. It's a polarization that's happening throughout the world. Is this a bad thing? I don't know. So if you look at polarization is what's called a transverse wave. It's when the oscillations of a wave can be perpendicular to the direction of the wave. So perpendicular means it's running in different directions, polarization. And we see many different sides to everything nowadays. Everyone has fierce opinions on both sides of every issue, it seems. So a transverse wave would be a guitar string that is pulled tight and you pluck it. And that guitar string, when you pluck it, those waves can vibrate in any direction around it. So it's perpendicular to the direction of the sound or the actual wave. The sound coming off of that string, though, are what's called longitudinal waves. And they move parallel to the direction the waves are going. So a sound wave is a longitudinal wave. But in order to get those longitudinal waves so that we could hear them, you have to have that transverse wave plucked, that polarization there. So what I am proposing is that this polarization that's happening because of people like Donald Trump or Donald Trump himself, and all the polarization that's going on right now, that emanating from that is a sound of, I would say, authenticity. So people are now more opinionated than ever. They're saying what they think a lot more. They're a lot more honest. I think whether you love him or hate him, you could admit that Donald Trump has changed the face of politics, because at least he's one of them that has changed the face of politics, because it used to be where even if you knew a politician was lying, you just assumed they were lying and that they were covering up the real story. And Donald Trump may be lying a lot, but he's just bluntly stating it without without being tied down to political correctness. So the fact that he's just blunt and stating what he thinks is honestly inspiring others to do the same, and then that causes a polarization. And that the sound emanating from that is authenticity. People more than ever are stating what they actually think. They're being honest. Now, the difference between honesty and truth is that honesty is what you think. It's how you perceive the truth. It's your interpretation of the truth. It's what you actually believe and think. Honesty. That doesn't mean it's true. Truth, though, is something that has utility and includes everything and everybody. So the sound of authenticity is being, once you pluck the guitar string and you can hear it, that sound of authenticity is resonating through everything right now. And I believe my proposition is what will happen is, as we discuss, and it can be contentious, it can be a lot of conflict, it's a lot of chaos, but within that chaos there's an order. the yin-yang idea. Within that chaos, there is an order of truth. And as we communicate our authenticity together, we will find agreements in things. We'll disagree and we'll find agreements, and disagree and find more agreements, and slowly we'll align together. And this truth I would liken to the Christ. And in a previous video, I talked about how the Christ is a perfect vibration that stills all dis-ease. So there's polarization. The sound emanating from that is authenticity and honesty. And then within that, we find the order of truth as we agree and align together and work through our disagreements. And the truth is found, and that truth, that pure vibration, stills that sound, or the transverse polarization of the string, and the string is still now. So we've plucked it, heard it, and now stilled it. And that whole process will bring society to another state. A lot of people think the world's going to end. It seems like half the world thinks the world's going to end, and half the world thinks this is the best time in all of history. So I think there will be a lot of death and rebirth, and we'll come out like a phoenix, rising from its own ashes, and will improve as a society. So I think the scriptures that talk about this trump sounding, and then that ushers in the Christ, I think that is what this is talking about, at least one of those trumpets that sound. It might be a stretch to you, I don't know. Tell me what you think. I think it's an interesting parallel of what's going on right now. Like I said, comment, discuss. If I'm insane, tell me in a respectful way. If you agree, let's talk about it. If you have other perceptions or viewpoints, please let me know. This is something I'm interested in. I'm not saying I support Donald Trump. I'm not saying I don't support Donald Trump. But what's happening with the world right now is very interesting, and I think it could be biblical. And I think it could be the signs of a greater civilization forming. Because right now we're kind of like a teenager as a society, especially on social media and in mainstream news, and everyone, it's just so polarized, but the authenticity is rising just like a teenager. Anyway, those are my thoughts for today. I'm Jay Hendricks. This is Powerful Thought Daily. Please like, subscribe. I'm going to do a video every day, 5 days a week. That's my goal. I'm finding out I need a break on the weekend, or whenever I'll need a break. But I'll try to do at least 5 videos a week. And then on the days I don't do a video, you can think powerfully and read and whatever you do. So just think powerfully every day. That's what the title of this channel is. And that's what I encourage. So anyway, thanks for listening. Have a good day. Bye.